Hey ladies! Okay, so we are back for step number 2 in our Forever Young series, and there may be a giveaway, so make sure you stay tuned in until the very end. Alright, so now let's talk concealer, right? Okay, so you have two options with Unique. We've got our Skin Perfecting Liquid Concealer, and then we also have our Mineral Concealing Powders. These are really good for highlighting and contouring. They can be used like a translucent powder. You can use it alone as a foundation, or you can use it all over as a setting powder. I am going to use the Skin Perfecting Concealer to show you a few tricks because this bad boy is my lifesaver, because you guys know I am up way too late and I don't go to bed on time. So this bad boy makes it so you can't even tell how late I was up burning the midnight oil. So you're gonna put just a tiny dab on your ring finger if you're gonna use your fingers and not a brush. Now let me show you, this is how I wore my concealer for years. You guys are gonna recognize this. You just dab it on and then you swipe, right? And just that half moon circle. Did you see what happens there? Alright, so let me show you a trick. Alright, so the same thing. You're going to put a little tiny bit on your ring finger. And then you're going to kind of draw out in lines. So, kind of like got a triangle thing going on there. Alright, so I bring this all the way down to the tip of my nose because I have redness that I like to try to conceal and brighten around my nose. But you can do this to an inverted triangle to like the middle of your cheekbone. And then I use a dampened blending bud, and you're just going to press and roll, because we don't want to tug on this part of our face, right? Because we know our skin is thinner and a little more. So, and then you also want to take this concealer all the way up and around your eye. It's really going to brighten and enlarge and be very light reflective. Alright. You see that? Do you see the difference already? This one, with just that half moon around under the eye, right? It almost draws more attention to what we were trying to hide in the first place. This side really brightens up that whole side of your face, right? So now we want to make sure that this is dry, completely dry, before we apply any kind of powder or eyeshadow to our eyes, because we want to be very careful when we're using powder around our eyes, because we have, what do we have? Wait, we've got smile lines, laugh lines. They're not crow's feet. They're not wrinkles. They're smile lines, because we smile and we laugh, because we're happy girls, right? But a powder will settle into those lines and draw more attention. And so we don't want that, right? You also want to make sure that your eyes are really moisturized, because if you're using any kind of, and very well primed, right? Because we don't want that to get cakey if it's not moisturized. So that's another good reason to use moisturizer. All right, so once that is dry, I take my concealer brush, which is got tapered, and it needs to be cleaned. You see that? Gross. All right. So it's tapered, and then I take the concealing powder and I tap just a little bit of it on the brush, just a tiny dab, tap off the excess, and then I'm going to pat this on to set that powder, because I don't want to go in or that concealer. And you're just patting. You're not rubbing, because then you're just going to rub the concealer and smear it all over your face, and we want to set it where it is. You don't want any smearing going on. Alright, so I told you there was going to be a giveaway, right? Alright, so the first person to claim in the comments below that you are going to be purchasing either of the concealers today, the Skin Perfecting Liquid or this the Mineral Concealing Powder, the first person to claim that in the comments below gets this brush for free. I will throw it in for you as an extra. All right, So there you have it, ladies. Concealing tips and tricks.